G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son, our playthrough of Combat Volume 1. The last introductory scenario, number 4, here they come! And we're into turn 3 with the last of the German reinforcements on the board. All of C team, Charlie team, have been spotted except for the corporal. They all have aimed fire except for the machine gun, which has rapid fire. We have this guy here with a grenade. We have illumination here. And we have this guy charging. So it could be a little bit messy this time. And we are at blue, Charlie, red for the initiative this time. So let's get into it. So the first thing we got is the blues. So we have an evade 5-6. So he's going to go up here. Same again, evade 5-6 up to here. A sneak 6-5, so he's not going to do anything. I nearly moved him, but I didn't. I'm learning. It's amazing what a clip around the ears every so often does, isn't it? Righto, so that means Mr. Grenade Man. So again, going to grenades. I'll find it. Right, back. Okay, so Impulse 1, the enemy character arms the grenade. It will not do anything other than spot and or duck back. Place a grenade marker on the enemy character. Okay, so we have a grenade marker on the enemy character, blah, blah, blah. And we place the target marker on the closest friendly character within 3 hexes chosen at random. And there is none within 3 hexes, but there are within 4. So that's going to be the closest guy. And the target will move when he moves. So the grenade is 4, but we're only at 3. I don't understand that bit. So I always thought it went on to 4, then he moves forward 1 and stuff like that. This is the target. So he hasn't thrown yet. He's just primed his grenade, pulled the pin. So that's done. And now we wanted to blow him up before he can throw his grenade, and we want to shoot him down before he can bring in his charge. So blues are done, we're up to Charlie. So looking at our first little fella up here, I've got no cards to play this time. We've got an aimed fire from this guy here. I really want to take him out, but I can't take him out because it's aimed fire. So all I can try and do is spotting, and everybody is out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't aim at anybody. I can't do anything. We have a rapid fire on the machine gun, so we can fire. And we're going to fire at this guy first. Because this guy's going to stay in the open anyway. I want to blow him away. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the machine gun is a +1. We have illumination, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're at +1, and he has a 5. So that's 6, but rapid fire is -2. So we are 4s or less for 4 bursts. And here we go for the first one. And it's a miss and a hit. And the hit is a bad wound. So we'll put a bad wound on him. There he is. And, excuse me, and we'll do his TQC. So he's at 7 or less. and he passes it, so he'll just go from aggressive to bold. Right. Third one is a hit as well. And we have a light wound, which is still not enough to kill him. And we do his TQC again. So he's now 7 - 4, so 3 or better. And he passes again. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So with a 0, he doesn't drop or anything. And we fire our last burst at him, and it's a miss. It's only a single 9, so belt-fed weapon isn't affected. Then we can try and do some spotting with him at 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a 0 modifier for aimed fire in the open, which is a 0 modifier. So again, he is going for 6 or less to spot, and he does not. So Private Butterman, our medic, will try and spot, and he is a 6 or less to spot, and he does spot this guy. So let's see what we have here, and it is Soldat Roth, a good 'un. Don't like the good 'uns. He's a leader, I believe. Veteran. He's a veteran. Okay, so we've done him. Again, can't do anything with this guy for aim fire. He can't do any spotting. Same here, everything's out of range. And same here, everything's out of range. And we go on to red. So again, we have aimed fire here. He can't do anything. So looking back here, we have an evade 6-5. So he's going to come down this way. Again, out of range to spot anything. An evade 6-5, and he's going to come down this way. Again, out of range to spot anything. We have an aimed fire. He can't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy can try and spot him now, the corporal. And if he does, that's all of them spotted. So we have a range of 5, which is a 0 modifier. And he is aim fire in trees, which is -2. So 6 or less to spot him. And he's spotted. So all the Americans are now spotted. And we can remove those markers. Right, and he's done. And we have Mr. Charge Man here. So again, he's going to move 1 hex. And it doesn't matter where he moves. He's going to come under lots of fire. So 0 to 4, 5 to 9. And he'll come this way. Like that. And we go on to Impulse 2. And we have the Blues. So again, back here we have a sneak 6. So he'll come to here. And he's done. Evade 6. So he'll come down this way. Evade 6 as well. He'll come into the rocks. And because there is no spotted person that he has in line of sight, he won't do a check. We have the Grenade Man. So on Impulse 2, the enemy character will move a single hex, but only if the closest friendly character is 4 hexes away. So he's going to move a single hex. And he will move to here. Like that. So he's got line of sight. And the target marker goes on like it is. So that's done. And we go to Charlie. Right, so first guy up here again. Now he, again, is at level 2. So he has line of sight there, and he has line of sight there. I think we need to try and take this guy out. So we're going to fire here with our rifle. So again, he's illuminated, which is good. So we have a range of 2 for his M1 is a +1 modifier. This guy is aimed fire in trees, which is a -2. So we're at -1 and we're shooting for 5. So 4 or less. 4 or less for him. Here we go. And he hits. And it is killed in action. Well done, that man. Okay, so this guy is dead. So that's 2 reds and 1 blue dead now. We'll get rid of these counters. So he had a low ammo, he's aggressive, and he's aimed fire. Now, can we do any spotting? These are all too far away. No. So he's done. Righto, Mr. Machine Gunner is going to fire at his grenade man here again. So again, will be 4 bursts. He's firing, again, nothing here. 1, 2, 3 now is still a +2 modifier now for grenade in the open, which is a +1. So he's at +2, +3 to shoot. And he's shooting for 5. So it's an 8. First 9. Second burst. An 8 is a hit. It's a friendly event. So we do the friendly event first, which is we can put down some more illumination. And I think this time we might put it at 1304, which is right there. No, 1309 I think is the other one we wanted. Yes. So 1309, we're going to put it there, then we're going to roll for the scatter. So it's D6 -2, so it's going to go 1 hex in direction 4. So it's actually going to come up onto Mr. Aimed Fire here. So we have everybody illuminated now, which is bloody fantastic. Okay, and we have another bad wound on him, and that's enough to kill him. So goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. Heavy and light wound gone. Grenade stays there because it's going to go boom. And if anybody moves in, they're in trouble. And that's our second blue guy gone. And we have finished firing. Can we do any spotting? And we could spot this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 0 modifier for evade in clear. In the open, I should say, is a +1. So again, our machine gunner, Mr. Douglas first, is at 6. +1 is 7 or less. And he spots him. And this is Soldat Abbas, who is a rifleman. Can he spot anybody else? 1, 2, 3, 4, no. So he's done, and, sorry, and our medic is done. We have our little man here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who can shoot here at this guy. That's our corporal. with his grease gun. So we have a range of 5 for a grease gun, which is a 0 modifier. We have an aimed fire in the open, which is a 0 modifier. He's illuminated, so it's just a straight up, and he's shooting for 5 or less, 3 bursts. First, a 0. He becomes aggressive, and we have a hit, and the hit is a bad wound. So he has his bad wound. His TQC now check is an 8 or less, -3 is a 5 or less to pass, and he passes, so he goes from aggressive to bold. Right, second burst is a miss. Third burst is a hit again, and it's a light wound, which is not enough to kill him. So he has a light wound now. This goes away. I should have put the duck back on him. I forgot about that. My apologies. So he is now a duck back, and we need his TQC. So he is 6, 7 minus 4 is 3 or less to pass, and he does not pass. So he goes from bold to normal to cautious. And he is now a duck back. Right, we've got Kowalski here is going to fire at Mr. Charging Man at a range of 1, 2, 3 for a rifle. Is a +1 modifier. This guy is charge in the open, which is a -1, so we're at 0. He's illuminated, so it's just a straight up shot, and he is 4 or less to hit. And he does not. And our last one's Private Stubbs. Again, exactly the same, and he is a 5 or less to hit, and does hit, and gets a close call. So this guy is charging and aggressive, so that's 7 or less to pass, and he does pass. And that's all Charlie done, and we go on to the Reds. So he will hide like that, and he is done. He will do his charge, and he will charge down into here, because nobody can shoot at him except for the machine gun. These guys can't see him, so the machine gun's going to have to try and take him out, or else he's going to charge into here or here. Simple as that. Next turn, next impulse, I should say. Okay, this guy is evading 5, so we'll go to here. This guy under the illumination is an aimed fire. Okay, so let's just move him out of the way. This guy will evade into here, because he's a 6-5 as well. And because he has spotted people and he's in cover, he'll do his TQC to see if he ducks back. 6 or less, and he does not. So the illumination is on Mr. Man who's firing there. So he can fire at a range of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all in trees, so that's exactly the same. So it's just going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's going to fire over here at Stubbs. So we have a range of 5 for his rifle, which is a 0 modifier. It's aimed fire. So or we have a 0 modifier, we have -2 for aim fire out of trees, and we have -2 because he is not illuminated, so it's -4, and he's firing for 3. Sorry, that flipped over then. And nothing happens. Right, and that's it. And we go on to Impulse 3. Yay! Okay, blues. So we have a sneak here, so he's not doing anything. We have an evade 5. So he's going to come up into here, and he's going to come up into here. So let's just move this stuff. He's evading up to here, and he's evading up to there. Grenade is there. Blue is done, and blue is done. And we go on to Charlie. So again, aimed fire, so can't do anything. Aimed fire, so he's out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can try and spot him, and he can try and spot him, and he can try and spot him, and he can try and spot him. Okay, so first up is the gunner, who's going to try and spot this guy. So we have a range of 5, which is a 0 modifier, for evade in the open, which is a +1, and he is a 4 + 2 is 6, +1 is 7 to spot, 7 or less, and he spots him, and he is a dummy. Okay, so that is 2 blue and 2 red dummies, so there's 1 of each left. And he's evade 5, 6, so that goes in there. Right, now he's going to try and spot... there's nobody to spot there. He can try and spot this guy in the rocks. So again, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for both of them. So we have... he's an evade, isn't he? Yeah, evade 6, 5 in the rocks. Rocks... Evade is a -2, so it's simply a -2, and he is a 5, 6, 7, so 5 or less to spot him, and he does. So let's see what we have there, and it is Soldat Winter. Winter is coming. Couldn't help it, sorry. And then the last one is evade in the open. Again, 0 modifier. Evade in the open is a +1. So we're looking at 8 or less to spot him. And we get a 9. Okay, so then our medic can try and spot him. And he is a +1. So we're looking at 5, 6, 7 or less to spot. And he does spot him. And that is Henry Winkler. The Fonz is coming. Okay. He can't spot anybody else. He can't spot and he can't fire. He can't spot and he can't fire. And he can't spot and he can't fire, which leaves us with the Reds. So we have our duckback, who's not doing anything. So he's done. He's hiding now. We have an aimed fire, so he's not going to do anything. But we have an evade 6, so he'll come this way. And an evade 6, 5 as well, so he'll come this way. And that's him, him, and him done. And then we have the charge. He can move 2. He can reach this guy or this guy. So again, 0 through 4, 5 through 9 for a melee. and it's going after Kowalski. So this will be, let's make it B, and you can still see everything that's happening then. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so Kowalski goes up here as the defender. We can get rid of his aim to fire, so he doesn't need that anymore. Okay, and Mr. Charge Man comes up here. He's aggressive. He's got his charge as well, which makes him bloody dangerous. And we put our melee counter on there, which is on the back of the normal counter. And they will melee in the next exciting episode. Okay, so that is that. And we go on to Impulse 4. And we're up to the blues. So we have a sneak 6-5. So he's going to sneak 5, which is into the trees here. There he is. He can see some people up there, so he can go for a duck back. So he is a 4, 5, 6 or less for a duck back, and he passes it. So his sneak becomes a ducker-backer. There he goes. And our other blue here is an evade 5, 6. So he's going to go 6, which helps him immensely because at least he's not onto the grenade. So he's done, and that is all the blues done, and we're at Charlie. Right. Okay, so let's start with the melee, I suppose, seeing as it's there. So we get to attack Mr. Red first. So we are at 5 and 1 is 6 for a hit. Okay, 6 or less for a hit. And we hit, thank God. Ah, close call. Okay, this guy is at 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets a 7, so nothing happens. Bastard. Okay. So, let's start with this guy here. We have a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is not blocked. He can see him. He can shoot at him. So we have a range of 5, which is a 0 modifier for his his weapon. And we have an evade in the open, which is a -1. He's shooting for 5. That gives him a 4. Again, this guy is illuminated, so 4 or less. And he hits and kills him. Wow, he's a good shot. That's 2 he's just killed straight up. Well done, that man. Okay, so he's a deaden. And we have an evade, which 5, 6, which goes away, and an aggressive again. Okay, Mr. Machine Gun. I think we probably need to go after him in the rocks. We got more chance of getting him. And these guys he can go after him to try and knock him out, and he can go after him. Or do I take the easy ones? He may come out of the rocks later. Give me another chance. So let's go for this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the machine gun. Is a +1. We have evade in the open, which is a -1. So he's at 0. and we have illumination. So machine gunner is shooting for 5 minus 2 is 3 or less with 4 bursts. And we have our first 9. We have a hit. It's a close call. So he is at 6 or less, and he fails, so he'll go down to bold. Okay, we've had 1 9. This is the third burst. 3 or less, there's a miss. And another hit, which is a bad wound. Okay, so we have a bad wound on him now. So he is a 5 minus 3, so 2 or less to pass. He does not, so he will stop evading for a start. Will become a duck back, and he goes from bold to normal to cautious. Like that. And that's the end of that. He can't. Yes, he can. And then he's going to try and spot this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have a duck back in trees. So it's a minus 2. So again, he is at 4, 5, 6, minus 2, 4 or less to spot. And he does not. And again, a minus 2 for the medic to try and spot. He's at 5 plus 1 is 6, so 4 or less. And he does spot him. And this guy is Soldat Schreiber. Right there. So they're both done. Now I'm pulling them off, you idiot, not putting them on. So then we have the corporal who can shoot over here for a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a 0 modifier. And we have hide in the open, which is a minus 2. We're shooting 4, 5, minus 2 is 3 or less to hit. And we do not for the first burst. We do not for the second burst. And we do for the third burst. So this guy picks up another light wound. He's got a bad wound and a light wound. That's not enough to kill him yet. So he now has 2 light wounds. So he does his check, and he is at 6 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 0 is the only thing that he can do. And he fails, so he goes from cautious to shaken to rout. So he will rout next time. Right. So he is done. And that leaves this guy to shoot. So we will shoot here. At a 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 0 modifier for evade in the open, which is a minus 1. We have illumination, so we're firing for 4 or less for a hit. And we do not hit. And then we're up to the reds. So he's not doing anything because he's routing now. He's ducking back, which becomes a hide. Oops. He's evading. So he's evading in direction 5, which is along here now. which leaves us with our aimed fire. He can fire at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that's, I think, one blind hex. So yes, he can. This is the blind hex, and it's him shooting, so he can shoot here, or he can shoot here, or 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not going to shoot in there. So machine gun or stubs, and we'll roll off for them. They're both in trees, so it's going to be firing at stubs again. So range 5 is a 0 modifier for him. We have -2 for the trees and -2 for lack of illumination. So he shoots and nothing happens. And he is done. And we go back, and that's the end of that turn. No more Germans coming on. We've killed 3 blue, 2 red, and found 4 of the 6 dummies that are out there. We know we're not going to find any more dummies because we've spotted everyone. This guy is going to route back in directions sort of 2, 3, depending on what his card says, or 3, 2. This guy has a bad wound, so the only thing he can do is sneak. So he's going to come sneaking back this way as well. So it's really going to come down to what this guy, and this guy do who aren't wounded. So the grenade goes off, but there's nobody there, so it doesn't matter. And now we need to find out what's happening with these here. So the top one, an 8 or a 9, it'll go out. And we have a 6, so again it comes down 1, which now illuminates these here. And this one here, it's going to move, and it was here, so it's now here, like that, which still does not illuminate these guys, at least. So that's that. Rightio. So I hope, again, that wasn't too painful. We got there in the end. We have 2 illumination out there. We've got effectively all our people. I really need to get to attack this German first, but it's really going to depend on what card I get, because I have no cards in my hand, and he could get killed before anything really happens. Which will then put this guy here. But again, he won't melee until the second impulse, so I may be able to blow him away with rapid fire from here into here, if need be. But yeah, we'll see what happens, So take care. And I'll catch you for turn 4 in the next video. Bye for now.